Was it Brent Rooker's fault? Was it Steve Kwan's fault that we went to extra innings? No, it was Joe Torre's.
Step up to the plate. It's the Locked On MLB Squad Show, sponsored by Gametime. From the Dodgers to the Astros, the Mets to the Rangers, and everyone else in the league, with the experts of the Locked On Podcast Network bringing you the most comprehensive breakdown of all the action around the horn. We're coming in spikes up, no hurt feelings allowed, so squad up.
Welcome into the post-All-Star Game Locked On MLB Squad. We're glad that you're alongside us here today because we are part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team, your Major League Baseball every single day. My name is Jeff Carr. I am one half of Locked On Reds and the channel manager for Locked On MLB. Joining me on this squad show is JD Haffron from Locked On Locked On Cardinals. We've got Harry Ruiz from Locked On Dodgers. We've got Sully from Locked On MLB, Justin Latta from Locked On Guardians, and Brett Chansey from Locked On Astros. Great, absolutely fantastic All-Star game to get to on this post-All-Star Game MLB Squad show because we had something we never seen before. We had an amazing tribute to Hank Aaron.
Yes.
And Joe Torre almost forced another tie. Okay, he didn't force the tie in 2002, but he was the manager of the American League team. But we're glad that you're alongside us here today on the Locked On MLB Squad show that is brought to you by Gametime. Download the Gametime app today, create an account, and use the code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. All right, gosh, a swing off to decide the All-Star game. And as Bob Nightingale tweeted, the National League wins 6-6. I am still buzzing from this. This was an amazing experience. And Kyle Schwarber gets the MVP because he took 3 swings and he hit 3 bombs.
He basically
Go ahead.
Jonathan Aranda. Good pick. Seriously, we get down to the end of that excitement, and you go Jonathan Aranda, and he goes 0 for 3. Like that really peaked right after that. We got there, and then really bottomed out. But that was fun. You got to see something you've never seen before.
Yeah. What were you going to say, buddy?
Oh, no, I was just saying, I guess that could be the Home Run Derby 2.0 because, we didn't have a ton of home run hitters in the Home Run Derby. Well, we did, but there were a couple guys you wondered, well, why were they in the Home Run Derby? So Kyle Schwarber, he looked good. The dude can mash.
It would have been nice if, and Stacy Gotsulias of Locked On Yankees posted this, of like, where are Ohtani and Judge and Raleigh at this point? Jonathan Aranda is a fine player, but they're on planes back home, Sully. They were flying back home already. Yeah, that's true. Like at some
but
point,
I was told never to leave a game early.
Not me.
But you know what? I think this was the best All-Star game we've had since that extra inning game we had in New York back in 2008 with J.D. Drew getting the home run, and it was I believe it was Michael Young hit the walk-off sac fly in that. That was a phenomenal game. Most All-Star games I don't remember. Most All-Star games I remember the introduction of the players and thank the spirit of Buck Weaver and all the other members of the White Sox of 1919 in the Field of Dreams that they're wearing their uniforms this year and not wearing those crazy Last year Jared Duran hit a home run. I didn't know it was Jared Duran till he was going around the bases. But this was a fun. I mean, it looked like it was going to be a clunker for a while, and then the Giants bullpen does what it does, and that is it gives up leads, and then. I didn't know.
Padres.
Padres.
Yeah, it's the Padres. Yeah,
I didn't know about the
Dave
swing
Roberts
off.
Managed bullpen gives up a big lead in the end. That one.
An NL West masterclass of disaster. But hey, there was one guy that had a multi-hit game before we got to the swing off, and he might have had a good argument for the MVP had the National League ended up holding on to the lead and not going to extras, and that was Brendan Donovan.
Yeah, and then he hit like a little bunt that kind of went. It just didn't go as far as Kwan's infield single, and that's how he went out on a whimper. So that was kind of a bummer. But Yeah, it was still a very entertaining game, specifically in the later innings. Like things got more exciting. So all in all, and we got to see something we never seen before, as you guys mentioned, which was really, really cool to see the home run off at the end of everything there. And
That's awesome.
It was a good time. I enjoyed this All-Star game tremendously.
Hey, but earlier,
Mike,
earlier Tuesday on Locked On Dodgers, I was asking which Dodger has the best shot at getting the MVP in the All-Star game. And I was like, look, the reality is they're only going to play the first 3 to 4 innings tops, which was Will Smith, Shohei Ohtani, 2 at-bats. Freddie Freeman was out in the second. Clayton Kershaw pitched at 2 batters. I was like, a big moment late in the game is going to earn somebody the All-Star game MVP. I wasn't expecting it to go that long, but now we're after a 3-hour game, and then we find out who the MVP was. But look, I love it that when you look over at the NBA All-Star Game and the NFL Pro Bowl, those are super boring. Those have no competition at all. You can look at what hockey did this year. You can look at what baseball is doing now. And it's like, all right, we give competition and we give entertainment for the fans that take their time out of their day to watch this game.
The next thing they could do is actually have All-Star Weekend. That's the only thing that's missing to me. Is this the Home Run Derby needs to be like Friday, the Futures game needs to be Saturday, or vice versa, and then Sunday needs to be the All-Star game. That's something they're missing. But MLB owners are never going to give up their weekend home dates in the summer. It's never going to happen.
Jeff knows my stance on this. I've said it before and I'll say it again. You start the season with the All-Star game. You start the season with this great celebration of baseball, and you have the entire season. Now, I love that Mizorowski was an all-star this year, but I think he has 6 more starts than me. And if things don't go right, I mean, you've seen situations where, like, should we put, like, when Yasiel Puig came up and was amazing his first, I'm going to say 4 or 5 weeks in 2013, I think it was 2013, Harry, if I'm remembering this. I'm just doing this off the top of my head. But there were some people, should Puig be an all-star? Should Puig be an all-star? And the same thing with Strasburg when he made his great start in 2010. Should Strasburg be an all-star? Should Strasburg be an all-star? And it should be based on the whole season because, as Harry knows, I am tied with Kirk Gibson in all-star game appearances. And for those of you wondering, it's 0. And you have, like, Tim Salmon, the second best fish-based player in the history of the Angels, never made an all-star team. And Tyler Green, who finished 1995 with an ERA over 5, made an all-star team because you should base it on the entire season. And that's, I think, a great way to start the season, and then have this mid part be where you go to Japan and they have the Hall of Fame induction. You can do all that in the mid part, but no one asked me that. But I will say, I'm watching this game. I'm up in the Bay Area right now. I was with my mom watching. She's a big Giant fan. And I was saying to her at one point, watch out for Stephen Kwan. He doesn't have the best numbers, but he'll always get a big hit. And I said, he's a lot like Hunter Pence when he played for the Giants. Didn't have the gaudiest numbers, but whenever there was a rally, somehow Hunter Pence was in the middle of it. And whenever Hunter Pence got injured, the Giants went on a huge slump. And I said, that's Stephen Kwan. Bernie Williams had that quality too when he was with the Yankees, but as opposed to what other team, Sully. But and lo and behold, 2 outs. I turned to my mom and I said, look out for Kwan. And he does what Kwan does, which is get the job done. And this is a concept that Yankee fans won't understand, but he put the ball in play and allowed for things to happen. Yankee fans said, how not score a run if not solo homer? And he was able to produce a run. And you saw that the way when they rallied off of Rodriguez of the Giants, they were hitting it the other way. Yankee fans were going, but launch angle not high enough. Help me understand.
Yankee fans are going to love this podcast.
We're going to get roasted. Hey, I'm just going to say.
I got news for you. A's fans hate me this morning, so why don't we just go right on and have Yankee fans
coast
hate
to
me
coast. We're going coast to coast here. So that's for sure.
Kwan really the crap for that one. I will say, the Guardians, when the Guardians win, Stephen Kwan's OPS is like over 900. When they lose, it's below 5 or so.
That's Hunter Pence was. Steve Kwan, he's the straw that stirs the drink.
I'm curious.
We talk about, by the way, so it didn't matter.
There we go.
This is true.
Steve Kwan just prolonged the inevitable, is what it was. But I tell you what, with this swing off, it's got me thinking a couple of questions. The first one being, did they get this order right? Did they get the swing off right? And does now everyone have to stay to the end of the game? Get the supplies that you need from the site that's made for the skilled trades, Supply House. Whether you're working in plumbing, HVAC, or electrical, Supply House is the reliable way to order products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product information to help you get the job done right. If you need help with an order, Supply House offers expert support and industry-leading service. You will always talk to a real person when you call Supply House. And for the trade pros looking for that extra edge, they've got their free Trade Master program that offers exclusive perks like a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Thousands of skilled professionals are already taking advantage of this, and now it's your turn. Join the Trade Master program today at supplyhouse.com/TM and start ordering plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies with just a few clicks. Plus, use promo code SH5 for 5% off your first order. That's supplyhouse.com. There is a Locked On MLB podcast for your favorite MLB team, whether it be the Cardinals, the Dodgers, the Guardians, the Astros, the Reds, whether it be the Yankees or the A's. We've got a team podcast for you. And of course, Sully is hating on them all over on Locked On MLB.
Never the Expos. I never hate on the Expos.
Never hating on the Expos. Never an Expos hating podcast there, Locked On MLB. But I know this. The swing off was interesting because it was a little bit hamstrung by the fact that, well, there were some guys that were on their way home. They were on the plane. They were trying to get back, maybe spend a day like just getting a little R&R before the next part of the season takes hold. So with that being said, the decisions were a little bit limited by Dave Roberts and Aaron Boone. But did they get it right? Because it kind of felt like there were a couple of dudes that were standing there on the sidelines watching that should have been swinging.
Well, I think if you have the first ever swing off, I think one of us was saying it's been in there since 22, but they've never used it. Wouldn't you want of the guys that are remaining in the in the dugouts, the top three hitters of home runs that have the launch angle, that do all that stuff on both sides? The first time you do it, you know, you only get a second. You don't get a second chance to make a first impression. And although it was exciting the way it ended because of the way Kyle Schwarber did it with the three swings, but I would have loved to seen Pete Alonso get up there as well.
Yes.
And,
yes.
You know,
Jonathan Aranda couldn't come through.
And I'm like, yeah, I mean, how does Aranda get this swing and the swing off, but Pete Alonso gets stiffed, you know?
Stephen Kwan has 10 more career home runs than Jonathan Aranda, by the way. Bobby Witt.
What did we learn tonight? Kwan is a winner in Stern
Yes.
Ring. He should have been doing it.
You can't do an inside the park home run in a home run derby, though. That's not how it works.
There were no fielders. Why not? There's no fielders.
Let me
So
tell you,
apparently, real quick, guys, apparently the home run derby participants are predetermined by the managers before the game even starts.
I'm calling you know
Apparently
what
there
on
was a
that.
discussion.
That's gotta be
So Aaron Boone said Jonathan Aranda is my guy if we are down to our last
Come
swing.
on.
That's Aaron
Come
Boone,
on.
Hey,
baby.
fire Aaron
All
Boone.
Yeah. Now he should
that
get
gets him fired.
Fired.
That's the thing that finally gets him fired.
I didn't like Aaron Boone as a Cleveland Indian for 1 year. I don't like him as the Yankees manager now either.
As a native New England and Red Sox fan, I have many issues with Aaron Boone, but thankfully he's lost to the Red Sox twice in the postseason as a manager, so I guess it's almost evened out.
So Ruiz, how does David Roberts botch this?
Right? No, but how?
Not-
I mean, how do you go with this guy over Aaron Judge, Cal Raleigh, Vladdy Guerrero Jr.?
I guess.
Just those three guys.
I guess he assumed, he goes, these starters, because that, like you
They're
said,
gonna
Aaron,
be
that
gone
is the
by
thing.
then.
You watch the starters for the first couple of weeks. And that is the one thing I like about the All-Star game is the guys who get voted in, the best players, you get to see them at 8 o'clock or 8:20 after all the pageantry. And then they come out after a couple of innings, they get ovations. And then the guys that aren't the starters for teams that aren't as good, you get to see them have the impactful moments. You get the best of both worlds. Well, I guess the managers just assumed, Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani, these guys are going to be on a plane. So I guess,
Well,
I can't rely on
MLB
them.
say something about this now and be like,
Yes.
actually, we need you guys
Please.
to stay around, because what would it have been like to see Judge versus Ohtani in one of those rounds? How freaking cool would that have been?
That would have
Imagine
been
the
great.
ratings for that.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing. And maybe
Well,
it's just you have some good Southern cook in there in the dugout to hang them on like a care package or something. Got some biscuits and gravy, got some shrimp and grits, really keep them nice and warm and toasty. And then all of a sudden they're ready to jump up there and take a few swings at them. I don't know. Like
Maybe you have the fans vote for the ones you want to see in a swing off.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, the players got to agree. Remember this. This is why we don't have a skills competition, because players aren't going to agree to do anything extra they don't want to do as far as health is concerned. But here's a free piece of marketing for Major League Baseball: never leave a game early. Tonight proved it, and that includes the players. Free piece of marketing. Run with it, please.
Even
How
the
about
fans
this?
that stayed there
I
till
will
the
accept
ninth.
all the kickbacks.
Even the
How about
fans that
this?
stayed there until the ninth. A lot of them left once the last out was pitched. They
A
didn't.
lot of
know
them
it was
left
gonna
with
be a
Pete
swing up.
Alonso homered.
How many of them were sitting in traffic trying to get out of the stadium area there? The battery, the batteries.
Not
what we call
downtown
that.
Atlanta, you mean?
And they
Not
were
downtown
stuck in
Atlanta?
traffic, and they're like, "Wait, there's a what going? They're hitting the home runs? What? We could have
Fireworks.
still been there."
It's like the people when you see the Kirk Gibson home run, it's out. You see the players, the cars
red
there,
lights.
and a couple of the red lights go on like Gibson homer
That was great.
game, and I didn't see the Kirk Gibson homer.
That was too
Well,
funny.
You
Wait a
gotta
minute.
watch the replay, Sully. That was a fantastic.
Oh, I've
timing
watched
for
it
your
like the
internet.
Zapruder. I've watched it like the Zapruder film. What are you kidding me?
No, the
Back
replay
and to
for
the
this
left.
show.
Nobody
replay
knows
for the
when
show.
we did that.
You froze in
There's-
the exact
There
moment
was
where
an
you said,
internet hiccup right there. That was kind
It
of
was
fun.
perfect.
Everybody's going to claim they were there for it, even though they weren't. It's like Len Barker's perfect game for Cleveland. Everyone was there, apparently.
Yeah.
But like you said, Sully, like you're going to remember this All-Star game because of this swing off. It's a little bit funny that, like, okay, I don't buy that the managers pick their three guys before the game starts. They're picking based on who's still there. But who was still there? There was Ellie De La Cruz was cheering everybody on from the dugout. Bobby Witt was cheering on everybody from the dugout. And that would have been a fun matchup seeing those two guys go. But I think it's interesting, like the different guys. And of course, we saw Tarek Skubal in street clothes watching on the sideline. Like,
can I make a suggestion? If it's tied after that round, we then go legends. We give Ken Griffey Jr. a bat. We give Chipper Jones a bat. Let's go. We have,
so we were behind the scenes waiting for an
we have
hour.
a seance and we bring Hank back.
Yeah.
Sean Casey tore his hamstring playing for the Savannah Bananas. We don't need.
Well, they don't have to run like
Junior.
Right. They don't have to.
We don't need Ken Griffey Jr. on national TV tearing his ACL trying to swing off at the end. But
I don't know. I'd watch that. I think that would.
Yeah,
I
what you
would
say.
be funny.
That'll get ratings.
I would watch it, of course.
Or the
I
managers
just love
this year.
ACL turn.
The
Boone and
managers
Roberts.
this year.
I mean,
Dave Roberts
Boone wins that one.
Yeah,
I mean, Boone wins
unfortunately,
that one.
Tim Wakefield is no longer with us, so he can't pitch Darren Boone. But too soon.
Too soon.
Oh,
But I know this. I mean, this was not the only home run derby that happened in the last 48 hours. There was also Monday night, and that was a pretty interesting turn of events as well. We'll get to that coming up next. Ever wish managing your money felt easier? With Monarch Money, it can. Whether you're growing your savings or planning on a big purchase, Monarch puts you in the driver's seat. It's like having your own personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money is more than just a budgeting app. It's a complete financial command center. You can track all of your accounts, investments, and spending in one place. You just need one screen. So in addition to managing your money, you're also building wealth. I mean, on top of the ability to see all of your accounts in one place, it helps you with where the money is going, right? It's so easy to forget exactly how much money you went to Taco Bell with last week. But Monarch Money can help you out. It's helped me out. I know it'll help you out. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use the code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com and the code LOCKEDONMLB for half off your first year. Thanks for making Locked On MLB part of your everyday routine. If you can't watch us on YouTube, you can always listen to us on your favorite podcast app. Locked On MLB and all of our wonderful shows on this channel are on all of the audio platforms out there. Go check us out today. All right, so, National League wins the All-Star game, but the American League kind of held serve here with the home run derby because it was all Junior Caminero and Cal Raleigh, and it was really just all Cal Raleigh. The big dumper was all over the home run derby on Monday night.
He was hitting the ball far. I mean, he basically is doing stuff at a record pace, and I wondered, would he act, there's all this talk about, will it mess up his swing or whatever, and I kind of joked about it on Locked On Astros going, well, I kind of hope he hits a lot of home runs in the home run derby because we play them right out of the chute after the All-Star break, and maybe get some of that stuff out of his system before we meet him, because he's having one heck of a year when it comes to the long ball. But guys like that, Ellie De La Cruz, O'Neill, just all these guys out there that have the ability to hit the ball far. It's always been a fun spectacle. I'm not a fan of the format. I know it's a shorter format. I know they're trying to condense more and it not be long and drawn out, but I do miss the days of, the home run after home run, the McGuires and the Juniors. And for me, my favorite home run derby was Fenway Park.
Yeah.
Was when they brought Ted Williams out. Then they had, during that All-Star, celebration, also had the home run derby, Mark McGuire. It was great seeing that. So what do you guys think of the format?
Well, can I just bring up, Brett? I have up here the 1999 home run derby lineup.
Okay.
You had Ken Griffey Jr. won it. And this is when he was with Seattle. You had Jeremy Burnitz, Mark McGuire, Jeff Bagwell, Larry Walker, Nomar Garcia-Parra, BJ Suroff, Sean Green, Sammy Sosa, and John Jaha. That's a home run derby lineup. And it's not the best one because in 96, the two that were facing off face-to-face in 96, Bonds and McGuire.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a bunch of these home run derbies up in front of me, and they're just sort of, you go to the roids era, and look at kids, don't do steroids, but if you do, go to the home run derby. You had Sosa and Griffey. Griffey's never, caught for anything. Carl Everett, who hit it so well, he actually believed in dinosaurs. Carlos Delgado, Edgar Martinez, Chipper Jones, Vladdy Guerrero, Pudge Rodriguez. I mean, you had Bonds, Giambi, Sosa, A-Rod, Todd Helton, Brett Boone, Troy Glass, and Luis Gonzalez in the 2001. Holy Toledo. I mean, Bonds, A-Rod, Giambi, Sosa, Canerco, Sexton, Torrey Hunter, and Lance Berkman was the 202. That was the one that was the tie. So imagine if they had a swing off and you had Giambi, Sosa, A-Rod, Canerco, Bonds, Torrey Hunter, Lance Berkman. Wow. I mean, you know what? I mean, just say yes. I mean, let's go.
Didn't Sammy Sosa put on a show in the home run derby the last time it was in Atlanta when it was at Turner Field? That was 2000 or 2001?
2000.
Pretty sure.
2000.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Sammy Sosa put on a tremendous show back.
He won. He got 20. He hit 9. He had 11 in the second round. He had 6 in the first round, 11 in the second round, 9. He got 26. Griffey Jr. was in second place with 11.
I mean, Josh Hamilton that one year in Yankee Stadium went absolutely bananas. That was a lot of fun. I do miss the old format. I like the time format a little bit. I wish there was some way to maybe do that for the early rounds and then later rounds are back to the 10-out format or something, or maybe an 8-out format. I don't know, but I do miss the old format a little bit. I do miss the back on calls. The broadcast was not for me. I watched the StatCast broadcast, but I still love the home run derby. My friends and I go out for it every year. It's still a lot of fun. I mean, you also have the same kind of identity crisis sometimes that the NBA has, where the NBA doesn't have the biggest guys in the dunk contest, and it's a sham.
Yeah,
the home run derby is better than that, but we haven't seen Judge, we haven't seen Ohtani do it. I want the big guns out there in the home run derby too. I want to see those guys, and that's when you want to do the early rounds where let's time it so we can move this thing along. But when you get your big guns to the end, your Cal Raleighs, your Aaron Judges, Let's let him go 7 outs and let's put on a show to end this thing.
By the way, Josh Hamilton had 28 home runs in the first round.
Yeah,
in
that
2008.
And lost.
28. Yeah, he lost to Justin Morneau 5-3 in the final round.
Morneau beat him that year.
Yes, wow, that's
Justin
But everybody
Morneau,
remembers Hamilton, so it was cool.
Justin Morneau has more MVPs than Derek Jeter. More than Derek Jeter, Manny Ramirez, and David Ortiz combined. It's that Minnesota bias. It's like the voters are always biased towards the Twins.
It's all those lakes.
Yeah, it's lake bias.
Yankees fans are just really gonna love this MLB Squad.
Sully's gonna go in a witness protection program for you pretty soon.
If you're a
Justin
Yankee
Morneau
fan,
wasn't
you're
even the
still
best.
watching.
Justin Morneau wasn't even the MVP of the Twins that year. They had Joe Mauer, they had Johan Santana, they had Torrey Hunter.
Kirby
Doesn't Joe Mauer have an MVP?
What?
Doesn't Joe Mauer have an MVP to his name?
Yes, he does. So we can
all
and Head and Shoulders try to make him a sex symbol in the 2000s. Try to make him. They put him in a bunch of commercials, had a bunch of women fawning over him because you think of Hemsworth, Ryan Gosling, Joe Mauer. You think about the people that get the women's hearts aflutter.
Hand in
What was he had the MLB The Show commercial? Remember that was the broadcaster? It was like Mauer. MLB The Show. We had him on one time. I can't remember the tagline for that now, but he was on a good MLB The Show commercial. Yeah, there we go.
Symbol. Not me, Joe Mauer.
Who is baseball's current? No, I'm not going there. Not going there.
Oh, by the way,
Cal Raleigh, obviously.
Yes, cannot lie.
Let me just throw one other thing. I kind of like it when they mic the players on a game like this.
Oh, I love that.
But I love it. Like, so Tarek Skubal, what are you doing? I don't know, getting rocked in the first inning. What are you doing? And why didn't they mic up Jazz Chisholm, who's one of the funnier players in baseball?
I would have liked that over Matt Olson, who might be the most boring person I've ever heard speak.
Really? Awesome. I'm enjoying the time. They're all good players.
How about the Miz throwing? Yeah, he's throwing
looks
hard.
good from here.
Yeah, future the Brewers. Looks good from here.
Pete Crow Armstrong is hilarious. I would have mic'd up Pete Crow Armstrong. He's hilarious.
Yeah, he's good. He's a good
Kershaw
kid.
was the best, I think. Kershaw's mic was great.
Kershaw's going to be a broadcaster. Kershaw is going to be a broadcaster somewhere. He has enough sense of humor about himself, and he certainly has more sense of humor than John Smoltz.
I don't throw a cutter.
I'm not a big Smoltz fan on the mic. I'm not a big Smoltz fan on the mic.
I think we just found his replacement then, right? Kershaw.
Yeah,
Once he
Kershaw.
retires, I thought his partner.
I thought it was Adam Wainwright until he is running for Congress or something.
I wish it was Zach Greinke. I would love Zach Greinke. I want him in the Hall of Fame just to hear his speech.
Speaking of players who were mic'd up that would be great in the booth, Joey Votto. Joey Votto was mic'd up during the Field of Dreams game, and that was awesome.
And there's people who don't like it, that think it's a big distraction to the players. I think it just brings in more viewers, more people that'll get invested and interested in the game. So I don't
and you
see
get to
why
know
the
some
hate
of these people. You get to know them outside of just the normal everyday interviews.
Yeah, you need some personality. I mean, it's not like they're doing it in Game 7 of the World Series in the 9th inning. Like, it's an all-star game. It's the home run derby. They do it in spring training. They do it during the fun stuff. And sometimes you'll do it like on random, Apple TV games, whatever. Like, you're not doing it in Game 7 of the World Series. Like, calm down.
And they even had like both Roberts and Boone mic'd up, and they were talking.
I like that. I thought that was good.
Yeah, that was fun.
They've gone against each other throughout. They got the rivalry, and that's good.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah, you're not going to have Madison Bumgarner, you've been brought in out of the bullpen to face the Royals in Game 7. What's going through your mind right now? Shut up.
I wanted Will Smith mic'd up because I wanted to hear him, what he had to say, trying to catch Paul Skeens and then coming out late. Well, I didn't catch Jacob Mizorowski later, but I want to hear the catchers try to catch that heat and see what they're saying back there. Like that'd be a lot of fun to me.
This is what knuckleballers. I want a catcher mic'd up trying to catch a knuckleball. Forget the heat. I want
crap.
Where's it going?
What is Doug Mirabelli up to these days?
Yes,
he's on real estate. I'm not kidding. He's a realtor.
Oh, there you go. You can ask him.
Yeah, there you go.
I think that's the perfect encapsulation of what the All-Star game should be, because I feel like they've gotten away from the whole, we're going to make this serious business. It's entertainment, make it fun. And that really, I think that really accomplishes it. Like, mic up more players, have them talking smack, pitcher to hitter, something like that. Like, that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, if you got
Never
World
leave
Series
the game early.
If you got World
Never.
Series home field advantage, then I get it why you got to be all serious and everything. If it's just an exhibition, let's have fun. Let's make it entertaining for everybody. And I think Major League Baseball is kind of finding that sweet spot where it's like, hey, it's perfect for the purists, it's perfect for the casual fans, and let's try to make the game bigger.
Yeah, Kyle Stowers and Ryan O'Hearn were really concerned with home field advantage this one.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that? You got those guys out there with that on the line. It would be crazy.
But you're right, and I'll tell you one thing. I did not know, like the rest of humanity, I did not know we were going to have a swing off to do the thing that we all were yelling at the TV in 2002 when they called it a tie in Milwaukee. It's like, Christ sakes, you got A-Rod and Bonds and Sosa, and they're all here. Give them a bat. But because of that, one of my biggest pet peeves in the All-Star game was swept away, which was, I thought we were going to go in extra innings. And I thought, like, are we going to have a situation we run out of pitchers? Why didn't you let that pitcher throw more than one? I still think your starting pitcher has to face the other team's starting nine. I still want to see Paul Skeens face all nine batters. And I still want to see face all nine batters. And then after that, hit the whirlpool. Go get on a plane with Ohtani. But I do want to see that matchup, because right now it's like, what pitcher will get the honor of facing the first three batters of the game, which is not as dramatic as, Clemens pitching 3 perfect innings in the Astrodome in 1986.
And Sully, pulling back the curtain a little bit and just the behind the scenes look, Jeff, JD, and myself, we were here the final inning because we were like, okay, the game's about to be over. Let's go with this show and get it rolling. And we were finding out stuff between all three of us as it was happening. And we are huge baseball fans. We cover baseball, and we were still finding out stuff as it was happening. So right. I don't blame you that you were finding out stuff as well as it was going on. All of us were.
I'm a pretty casual fan. I'm a pretty casual fan of baseball. But
ever since the Seattle Pilots.
Yeah.
He can't let it go. But that just means the moral of the story is never leave the game. And that is how we will conclude this edition of the Locked On MLB Squad show. Appreciate everybody for checking out this edition, and make sure that you follow your favorite team, whether it be the Cardinals, Dodgers, Guardians, Astros, whether it be the league, and follow Sully, and make sure you also follow Locked On MLB Game Night, because they got every game every night. That's all going to be resuming here Friday night as we get back into game action. But until then, you always know that we got you locked on MLB, because we're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Let's go Expos.
Oh, they said Astros.
Let's go Expos.